Why the world needs disruptor brands in 2021. Today we are asking the question on every entrepreneur's mind: what is the strategy behind being a disruptor brand in 2021? I'm going to give you the top 3 ways disruptor brands are dominating the marketplace in 2021, and we're going to look closely at 3 brands who are just killing it. The first way that the disruptor brands are dominating the 2021 marketplace is by placing their faith in the consumer. In 2005, the startup company that would one day be known as Klarna entered a Shark Tank style competition at the Stockholm School of Economics. Their pitch for launching a buy now, pay later program for online shopping was not popular with the judges, and they finished dead last. 5 years later, in 2010, the Klarna yearly revenue increased by 80% to $54 million. Imagine if they had taken the advice from the panel of investors who rejected the Klarna pitch and just given up. What most people don't realize is that Klarna is a bank. The typical brand we see for the most financial institutions are very serious. Their brand messaging speaks to fiscal responsibility, planning for the future, protecting your assets, and there's really not a lot of room for any fun. It's serious business, and the approach to branding that vast majority of financial institutions worldwide have is one of firm logic established with their customers' stoic professional relationship. And then Klarna comes along with its playful pink color scheme, quirky ads that range from delightfully strange to just plain hilarious. Some featuring Snoop Dogg or SNL's Maya Rudolph, who I love, and their tagline, smooth, spelled with 3 O's, to emphasize how easy it is to make online purchases through Klarna. This unicorn disruptor brand, now worth over $2 billion, is forcing other banks to reconsider the way they interact with the world. Talk about a disruptor. Today, hundreds of top brands worldwide are choosing Klarna to help make their customers' purchasing experience as smooth as possible. And its exponential growth can really be attributed to their true win-win-win way of doing business. Customers can now purchase and own things that they would have otherwise caused them financial strain because Klarna places its faith in the customers, allowing for balances to be paid off in 4 to 6 more manageable payments over an extended period of time. Get this, there's no interest and there are no fees to the customer. Klarna is famously customer-centric, and their fees are paid by the retailers, who are quite honestly thrilled because now their brands, their products have way more reach, so their sales go through the roof as more and more people are able to reasonably afford to support their brand. So we win. The brand that we want to buy, the brands that we love wins. And obviously Klarna is a winner for quite possibly the world's most staunch and stuffy of all branches of branding, financial institutions. Banks, investment firms, loan companies with their emotionally detached business models in the shades of black and blue and gray for centuries have stuck to the messaging of it's business, it's not personal, keeping their customers at arm's length. And Klarna has single-handedly smashed that grab ceiling, grabbing their customer's hand. Now, thanks to Klarna, things like designer couture or a status timepiece or a stunning piece of art that you've always wanted are no longer divisions that separate the haves and the have-nots. They're just nice things that are to be enjoyed by the people who really want to own them. And the relationship that Klarna is creating by placing their faith in the customer and providing more people with more of what they love is a close emotional bond that makes people feel happy, proud, excited, more capable of living into the greater future that brand provides, and more excited to tell everybody about it. The second way disruptor brands are dominating the marketplace in 2021 is by enhancing our options. Obviously, Klarna has achieved this as well by making our money stretch further and widening the brand marketplace for literally millions of people. But once the pandemic hit and the lockdowns went into effect, one disruptor brand was really positioned quite perfectly to really come out of nowhere. I'm talking about DoorDash, which was originally created out of frustration from the lack of options we used to have with food delivery. Remember when it was just like pizza or maybe a good Chinese restaurant or two? Now we can enjoy having almost all of our favorite local restaurants delivered right to our door. Meal options for home delivery has exploded. Everything from a Slurpee from 7-Eleven to a 5-course Michelin-rated meal can be at your doorstep within the next hour, thanks to DoorDash. Now that the world is slowly beginning to open back up, people are responding joyfully to brands that create more options for them to enjoy their time, enjoy their families, enjoy their lives. And finally, the third way disruptor brands are dominating the marketplace in 2021 and beyond is by reinventing the future. As entrepreneurs, I'm sure you realize that the upheaval of 2020 created a whole new wave of perspectives, mindsets, and problems that can all be turned into millions of dollars worth of opportunities for those of us who adapt enough to recognize these emerging needs and create the solutions that will make people's lives better. Right? We're in this together. So just look at the workforce alone. All of the millions of people who were at first feeling displaced from their work lives, having to adapt so they couldn't work from home, studies have found that almost a third of those people now say they don't want to go back to the old way ever again. In fact, many would rather quit. I think it's 70% would rather quit and find a company that will allow them to work at least partially from home rather than their regular 9 to 5 in office. This shift in the corporate mindset is huge. And we're only at the precipice of discovering how this new perspective is going to shape the way we function as a society. So when it comes to seizing this opportunity with both hands and harnessing the disruptor brand power of reinventing the future, we're going to look at classroom without walls for our inspiration. College professor turned digital influencer, Dr. Addison, is disrupting the way we learn and grow in the most amazing ways. She says after 10 years of teaching in college classrooms, she realized that the traditional education space is not preparing our students for the future, especially for students who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs and disruptive leaders. Learning from academics is simply not enough. Recognizing that a lot of what defines a successful entrepreneur from someone who has a great idea but can't seem to get their bearings, has nothing to do with what's being taught in traditional education settings. It has way more to do with what they have learned outside of the classroom, beyond the walls of academia. How to have presentation skills, how to be a good public speaker, how to treat people with dignity, the value of diversity. These are things that are either learned outside of the classroom or not at all. Classroom without walls give their students of all ages, known as disruptive learners, the opportunity to create a new synergy, to have a unique perspective, to have mentors from all corners of the world to gain skills that actually lead to becoming successful leaders, not just in their industry, but in their world, in their inner game. She took something that already exists, education, and reinvented it for the future. One of my key guiding principles in branding is to be familiar but different, because the familiar is what draws people in. It makes them feel at home, and the different is what piques the interest and sparks the enthusiasm. Disruptor brands are game changers. Bottom line, in 2021, the game has changed. The world has changed. It will be the entrepreneurs who are adept at spotting the gaps and creating better ways to deliver what the customer of this changing world really needs. Those are the ones who will come out of nowhere. So now you have the secret sauce, the top 3 ways disruptor brands are dominating the marketplace in 2021. Let's quickly recap. They are placing their faith in the consumer, enhancing our options, and reinventing the future. And now I want to add to your bag of resources an exclusive download for an awesome branding checklist I created specifically for creating a brand that connects with your audience in 2021. You can find the link in the description, so make sure you don't miss out. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. I release new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so treat these episodes as a masterclass for becoming an inspiration to millions with your brand. And as always, to become an inspiration to millions, it all starts with our motto: love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.